Very good morning, children. Today we are going to start the part 2 of lesson 12, and the topic is humanism and universities. Here, humanism. What is humanism? It is a subject which deal with the nature of the man and also the interest of man, completely regarding the nature and how the behavior of the man will be regarding the society, and everything will be dealing in this subject. That is only called as humanism. And the greatest universities in Italy, regarding all those we are going to study in this topic. Let us start the video. Students of the ancient Greek literature, which dealt with the nature and the interest of man, were called humanists. I already said what is humanism. Completely which deals with the interest of the man and regarding the nature, that is called humanism. And the students who deals that humanism are called as humanists. Everything in nature, science, and the arts that affected man now was important to the humanists. Completely the nature, science, which has completely affected the mindset of a man and made them to learn about those things. In 1453, Constantinople was overthrown and Turkish or Ottoman Empire took the place of the Eastern Roman Empire. In the previous video, I already said regarding the Roman Empire. And this Roman Empire, after this 15th century and all, it has completely vanished. When it come to 16th century and all, nothing is there. The Roman Empire, nothing it was there. In 1453, there is a place called as Constantinople. It is the capital of this Eastern Roman Empire, and this place was occupied by the Turks. The people who belongs to Turkey are called as Turks, and the empire of this Turk are called as Turkish or the Ottoman Empire. They occupied this Constantinople, and from there onwards lot of things were happened, lot of changes has taken place in the Roman Empire. And in the previous video also I have said regarding the Renaissance. Many of the Greek scholars have fled to Italy after this movement only. After this, Constantinople was occupied by the Turks, then they started to migrate to Italy. Many of the educated men who spoke Greek fled to Italy for safety. Humanism started in Italy but soon spread into France, England, and even to the Netherlands also. All these countries came under to the, they started to know regarding the humanism. One of the greatest educated man was the Dutchman Erasmus. So different philosophers were there at that time. Different great scientists were there. Artists were there. They depicted different things into the society also. So he is the picture what you are seeing in this is Erasmus. He is a Dutchman. The people who belongs to Netherlands are called as Dutch. He criticized some of the beliefs of the church in his book, The Praise of Folly. Small spelling mistake is there, children. Just you change it. The Praise of Folly. So he started criticizing the things which were done by the church. In the previous video also I said regarding this, how the church authorities used to take the money from the people, and whatever they say is the people used to listen to them blindly. They used to follow it blindly. Why? Because many of the people were illiterate. All the low grade people, mostly the peasants, are illiterate here. So whatever the church says, they used to follow that. So in his book, he wrote regarding the blind beliefs of the church. The name of the book is The Praise of Folly. And during the Renaissance, the humanist scholars acquired the books from the Arabs and retranslated them into Greek and Latin and studied them. So at this time only many of the books were also retranslated. Means once the book was translated, and again if it was again translated to another language, then it is called as retranslated. At the same time, artists and realism is also started. Great artists were there at that time in Italy, and different types of arts came into existence, and realism was taken place in the arts what they have done. The humanist ideas extended to art and architecture too. So arts and also architecture was started at that time. In the sphere of visual arts like painting and sculpture, it took the form of realism. When they used to draw the paintings or any sculptures, lot of realistic things used to be there. When we see any sort of sculpture, one statue or anything, we can see the realistic nature in the statue. Artists observe nature, the people and places around them. By seeing that only, they use it to create the arts and sculptures in such a realistic way. Artists began to study remains of Roman culture, their buildings, sculpture, etc. In 1416, Donatello broke new ground with his lifelike statues. The picture which what you are seeing here is the name of the person is Donatello. So in 1416, he started his sculpturing work. At that time, he used it to create the statues with the great look and the realistic nature. So artists concerned to be accurate was helped by the work of scientists, and by some scientists also they got some sort of things like how the body will be, how the skin will be. So completely you can see the real texture of the skin also on the statues. All those were started by these artists. He is the first person, he is the main guide like person for the Renaissance movement in Italy. Other person is Andreas Vesalius. He belongs to Belgium, so we call him as a Belgian. He is a Belgian and a professor of medicine at the University of Padua. Padua is a place in Italy and there is a big university is there. It is called University of Padua. He is a professor there and he was the first person to dissect the human body. Dissect means knowing about all the parts of the human body, and this was the beginning of the modern psychology also. And he is the first person who started the medical things also. By knowing that only anatomy was started. Do you people know what is anatomy? Knowing about all the parts. The body was cut and they'll take all the parts and they'll came to know that which part is that, where in the body where it is located. Everything will be known. That is only called as anatomy. And this person is Andreas Vesalius. And this is the University of Padua and it is in Italy. It is a present picture. And one more important picture. This picture is called as the Praying Hands. It was painted by Albert Dürer. So art is embedded in nature. We know that by seeing different natural sceneries and all, artists use it to create a lot of arts. So complete art is there in the nature itself. The more closely your work abides by life in its form, so much the better will it appear. So when we closely look into our life, our nature and everything, in that much way, and that much reality will be seen in the art. A sketch by Albert Dürer this is. This gives us a sense of Italian culture in the 16th century. So you can see that how the foldings of the dress and even the veins and all also we can see on the hands. It looks about the very real hands. So at that time artists used to depict the pictures in such a way. Next, this is a picture called as Pieta. It is a statue, Pieta, and it was made by Michelangelo. So in this you can see that Mary is holding the body of Jesus. In this picture you can see the reality of that statue also. Complete dress foldings and everything. So this is a very great statue which was made by Michelangelo. So this is called as, the statue is called as Pieta. He is the person Michelangelo. He only made that statue. And he is one of a great personality in the Italian arts. The three great artists of this time are Leonardo da Vinci, Michelangelo and Raphael. These three people together are called as the Great Trio. What they are called, children? They are called as the Great Trio. Who are the three people? Leonardo da Vinci, Michelangelo and Raphael. These three people are completely, they have sacrificed their life to the arts only. The use of oil paint as a medium for painting also gave a greater richness of colors to paintings than before. At that time only oil paint is also started using by the artists. It gives a new look to the paints. Anatomy, geometry, physics as well as a strong sense of what was beautiful gave a new quality to Italian art, which was to be called realism and which continued till the 19th century. Anatomy, I already said. Geometry, what you use in maths, physics, as well as a strong sense of what was beautiful. So all these things, it is very useful for an artist to know that. Why anatomy? To know that how the body parts are there. In some of our hands we can see that some part will be bended and some will be flat, and where the veins will be, so how the nails are, that is very important for the anatomy and all. And geometry, the complete measurement is very important for making a statue. And also the physics, the physical structure, how it should be, everything is very much important to get a beautiful sculpture. So all the artists, at that time when these things were started, it is very useful for them to make a great arts. He is the person Leonardo da Vinci. So we have seen about Michelangelo. He is Leonardo da Vinci. And the great picture which was made by Leonardo da Vinci is Mona Lisa. So this is the picture Mona Lisa. So there are a lot of things which is happening regarding Mona Lisa. Some people says different type of things are there. If you go to YouTube and all, if you watch regarding this Mona Lisa picture, different theories are there. Some people says that this is the picture of an alien. Some says that it is the exact picture of Leonardo da Vinci only. So some different things were there, different ideologies are there, but nobody knows regarding the exact thing, what is there at the background of this picture, for what purpose Leonardo da Vinci has created this picture. So a lot of things are there. Different opinions were given by the different historians, but the main thing is that they says that this picture won't have the eyebrows and all. And this is the Last Supper. This is also one of a picture which was depicted by Leonardo da Vinci only. And here, this is the Last Supper which was taken by Jesus Christ also, and after this only he was crucified. So different things are there depending upon this picture also. This is one of a great picture which was drew by Leonardo da Vinci also. So Leonardo da Vinci is a great engineer, an artist. He is a have a lot of medical things also. Means he gave his complete life to the arts only. He is a great mathematician. So different things are there about Leonardo da Vinci. And remaining all the things we'll be seeing in the next class. And the picture of Raphael also I'll be giving in the next video, children. And here is your assignment. So I have given some objectives for you. Total 8 objectives I have given. So complete all these objectives and then just submit me through WhatsApp, and meet you in next video, children. Thank you.